All right, guys. So here we go. Here's another one. Also, some really nice, a lot of progression on the backside turns today. And again, the way I set it up this week was that everyone was kind of focusing on different things. Backside, always a challenge, always a struggle. It's about really building some confidence and feeling safe and secure. Yeah, so let's break it down. Again, I'm going to use a video from myself at Skate Lindsay, just to kind of go through what I'm doing, right? I already did a video on backside bottom turning, but I thought I would redress it because it was a topic, again, of this week. So we're going, all right. Again, compression. Yeah. So again, we have back knee in, good. Oh, I don't want straight lines, I want wiggly lines. Okay, we have pop, pop, pop. We have my hand here, right? Where does it start? You can see, here's my hand. This one is kind of just doing something, it's just hanging out. This is kind of the preference thing, but my front hand is definitely here, right? So we kind of did this checklist with Sophie from her last session, all right? Let's check it out. So I'm in, I'm low. I extend up, right? I extend up, right? Okay, my course was really, really sharp, right? I don't need this all the time. If you look at the video before this, it's always a question, what do I want to do? I'm preparing, obviously, for a snap, right? So this means I need to generate a lot of rotation, right? So I want to generate a lot of rotation because then what happens, I whip it back through, right? If I was trying to do something just like a basic bottom turn to a top turn, I could go here in this direction and then just go back down here, right? So again, it all depends on what you're thinking about. What do you want to do? With Sophie, we were just kind of practicing the bottom turn, just not thinking too much about the top, but how she comes out of it. And she's made some really good progress over the last few weeks, or the last like two weeks or three. She's been coming a lot to course. So here we are. What do we see? Looks familiar, right? She's looking good. This arm is, okay, this might be something we can already kind of think about, right? This arm is like this. This arm is down. I would even say, interesting, is that she already has almost, she's more like this, I would say, right? She's already trying to initiate some turn with her shoulders, right? So we see she goes, holding the turn. Okay, so look. So it's good, Sophie, really nice. So bomb. This is good, this is really nice. Clear steps between compression, extension, right? And look at this, just checking the legs. You go from knees bent to, look at that, knees, legs, totally straight. Amazing. This is really good. This hand is kind of shooting out this way, right? Oh, it doesn't let me draw this way. So the arm is shooting out in this direction. And let's compare that to where I am shooting. Again, I'm going a very aggressive turn and I'm shooting this way, right? I'm shooting back into this direction because I'm trying to, again, create that rotation. So this is good. Check, 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 Sophie, very nice. And then what do we see? Yeah, this is the top turn. No, Sophie, really, you've been progressing a lot over the last few sessions. Very nice to see. And then we would just want recompression after this, right? So your goal was to try to get up to this one, right? That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. So, boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Why are they connected? Unlink here. So now, I don't have too much to say about this. This looks really good. Just build a bit more confidence. Maybe we could say get this hand a little bit closer here, right? Get it really, really, really low. This is going to allow, now that you have this full compression, Imagine how much more speed you would get if you had more, right? So this is all I would say. Play with more compression, but the body, the arms, everything looks really good. And look at your foot positioning as well. We were, okay, yeah, heel side is over the edge, which is nice. You could even maybe argue that this could be a little bit further. Interesting. Look at this. Look at this. Look what we're seeing. You have a lot of you have a lot of heel pressure here. Sorry, it's a lot of toe pressure. So we could kind of change that up. Look at my back foot. Right? I'm not really, am I on my toe? Do I ever get on my toe? Not really, right? You see, heel is here. Heel and heel. So this is also kind of this thing, understanding foot placement for your turns and using it to your advantage, right? If I'm scared of leaning, I can use my heel positioning or my foot positioning to kind of create more lean. All right, let's go. Who's next? This was an interesting one. This is what I was telling Annika, right? We were working on her backside. She's a little bit like nervous, which again, fair enough. Everyone is, right? So what do we see here? What I noticed actually after the video analysis, this, like, I was telling you the whole session, I was like, oh, the position looks really good actually, right? Well, let's go through the checklist. Knees are bent, back leg is pushed in for sure. This hand is here, right where we want it. Again, we could say we can get it down here a little bit more, but what I did notice is it's almost, she has all her rotation. There's the two things that she needs to think, that she can think about, Annika. So she has this rotation, but then she doesn't, look, when she goes into extension, her extension is to straighten, to come back down, right? Instead of having extension to go. So this is what I meant. We want to come extension this way, right? Here, if you stood up and just kept going this way, swinging this arm in that direction, right? Look, if we look at Sophie again, so she's going and then she stands up. You see this moment, bam, right? So if you can integrate that, Sophie, Annika, into yours, here, and then up, and not kind of turning back down the hill. It's about patience, about feeling this, feeling the lean, and really just holding it out. One thing I would say, maybe, it's like, what do we see? Like, I'm gonna go to mine again. All right. Notice how I start in a rather neutral position, right? Okay, my back hand is kind of by my knees. My front hand is by, we said, my front hand is right here, right? If you see, my front hand is here. All right, so I don't have too much twist. You see how my shoulder is here, right? So you could imagine what would help you, maybe, what we can try, I would definitely try this next time with you, is creating more of this airplane position, right? So instead of, because you see how your arm is kind of already rotated, right? You're keeping your whole arm already in a rotated position. So instead, put the elbow up, here's your elbow, and then you're here, right? So you're like this, and then your hand is like this. Because then you have this really nice, okay, well, this airplane kind of style skating, which is very, very functional. You know, who was... Aaron. Aaron was at the session yesterday, and Aaron has a very nice... He uses his whole body to kind of swing around. Like his hands are always kind of in this long, oh, that's not what I want. So Aaron, we need you to come back to some lessons because it's really nice. Anyways, you're kind of already starting your rotation, even here, right? Look at this position you're in. I don't have this position until, when do I have this position? Go, 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 go. Here, like at the very end of my, like towards the very end, right? Hand is here, check. My arm is swinging around, check. Look, my arm is at my mid chest point, right? Here's your mid chest point. Your arm is here. Here's my mid chest point. You can see my hand kind of in this area, right? So it's almost like you've created too much rotation, so you don't have any to kind of release. All right. So this would be some things I would consider working on next time. Right. This is good. In this moment, that's fine. This is fine. But you see how this arm is in the same position, has not changed. Right? So that's just something what we want to do next time. Same thing with Yule. Very similar. Look at this. Oh, Yule actually has a very nice... if she was gonna, like, I always think, you just need to just do a snap after this position because look, right? Look at this. Look at how much rotation you have. Wow. This is so good. Your arm is back over here. This hand is over here. You're really, really, really twisted so much. Very similar to... Recognize it? You see? Okay, this hand is not up, right? You have your hand up. So this would be something. Think about not your arm here, but rather your arm going in this direction to create rotation instead of extension, right? The extension comes out of the legs, not the arms, right? Okay, bam. So this looks really good. You almost recognize the positions here, all right? Okay, so bam, 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 bam. But you notice how this is very similar to what I was saying with Annika. The build-up, you see? You're pretty rotated already, right? You're pretty rotated already. So what happens, you only go from, you almost have like two, if you think of the rotation in two halves, right? For me, this is half one, half two, right? You see, I'm relatively neutral, 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 neutral. I start to swing, but at the very end is when I get the full, like, whoosh, right? I begin, whoosh. So my start position and my end position are very different. And you see here, your start position and your end position, right? There is a difference, of course, yeah, because you go for this. But imagine if you had kind of relaxed a little bit more in the entry. Relaxed a little bit more in the entry. Yeah, man, this is really good. There was some really good skating this week, and I'm looking forward to coming weeks. Thanks, guys.